we are going to talk about the stuff that I brought on the trip with me. I wasn't exactly sure if you guys just wanted to see makeup or a little bit beyond makeup, so I'm gonna do kind of maybe health and beauty. So the first thing I want to show you all is I always carry gallons, maybe not gallons, but containers of this product with me, Beauties. I love Purell's product because I can smell the alcohol in it, and it also does not have any kind of weird residue on my skin. It also doesn't smell weird afterwards. And if I know if I'm going to be checking a bag, I just buy one of these large ones, or chances are I might even have one at home that is used, and I just bring that. And then I also, with it, bring some smaller containers. Now, if I'm not checking a bag, I'll just take the smaller containers. I always carry pretty much in every single bag a container that is filled with Purell sanitizer, because you never know traveling when you are going to need to sanitize your hand. So I always have sanitizer on me. Frankly, even in the US, I always have that in my bag. And the next thing is, of course, for cleaning makeup, I always have one of these brand new ones. I put them in my bag, even if I'm not going to use the whole thing, or I just opt for buying one at the location I'm going to. Another thing that I brought, and I bought this right before I came, that's why it's kind of full, is micellar water that I use to clean up my hand if I've swatched things like I have right now. I was actually at a Primor, which is a store that has makeup here, swatching some Spanish makeup eyeliners and such, as you can see on my hand. So I would use this micellar water to remove those, or even sometimes for cleaning my face, removing my makeup, my eye makeup, etc. And this is a travel-friendly size that I bought in the US before I left. Years ago, I remember I read somewhere that Bifacil by Lancome is, well, back then it was ranked the best eye makeup remover. And frankly, I have used a lot of different ones, and I really, really, really like this one. I definitely feel like it cleans my makeup. I don't remember when I got this, but when I purchased something from Lancome, I got the sampler in one of those like gift with purchases, or maybe even purchase with purchases. I don't remember. But I kept the container, and I keep refilling the container with Bifacil. I have a large container of Bifacil, and I just keep this for traveling, and I bring it on trips with me so that I can put it in my carry-on bag. I don't have to check it in. Sometimes, depending on the length of the trip, and if I feel like I'm going to be putting a lot of makeup on during a trip, I might bring a larger size. But in order to do that, my trip would have to be more than like a month. Continuing on the sanitization front, Beauties, I have one of these. You might have seen me use it at my desk. I usually have one or two containers of just pure rubbing alcohol that I purchase from Costco, and I have it for cleaning my hand. A lot of times before I begin my makeup, I just spray my hand with this. Frankly, I always travel with alcohol spray. This is a small size that I can take on the plane. When I go into a new place, like a hotel, even an apartment that might be rented for me or that I might have rented myself, I sanitize everything with alcohol, everything that might have been touched by hand. The camera was having an issue focusing on the item that I was showing, so I had to declutter the background a little bit. Anyway, if you are a frequent traveler, you have to protect yourself. If you're in communal spaces, or if you're staying at places where other people have stayed before you. And as I mentioned, before I start my makeup, or if I'm using my fingers, and you all know if you've been watching my videos that a lot of times I use my fingers for shimmers. Before I dig my finger into a shimmer color, I usually spray my finger with alcohol and dry it afterwards, because I don't want to keep introducing new germs and bacteria into those shimmer colors. And a lot of times I spray my brushes, after I clean them and wash them and all of that, I spray them with alcohol just to remove bacteria. Let's quickly talk about my skincare routine, which is not extensive by any means. I usually put the Super Peptide Serum. I love this serum from Good Molecules, and also this one, the niacinamide serum. I have large pores and people have been telling me niacinamide serum is pretty good. So I've been putting these usually after either washing my face or after taking a shower. I also have the niacinamide, the liquid version. I don't remember what it was called. Sometimes I use that before even putting these serums. And then for moisturizer, I use this one, Mega Bright from Origins. At some point, they had a different one called Brighter by Nature that really went with my skin. Then I started using this. They discontinued that like years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. And I started using this. And I think it's okay. I feel like maybe with age, my skin is drying even a bit more. So I do have some other moisturizers at home that I've purchased that I'm in the process of sort of trying. So once this container ends, I'm going to test some other ones. And now that we're talking about skincare, I also brought this cream, which is from Aven. When I lived in France years ago, I really liked the creams from this brand. Europe has a lot of strict regulations on what goes in skincare product. And a lot of people actually say you have to buy skincare from Europe. Like if you have the opportunity to be able to buy skincare from France, you should do that over the US because frankly, there are not a lot of regulations in US for what goes into beauty and makeup, which is why every time I have the opportunity to buy French products without paying a fortune, I do that. And when I was in Australia, I ran out of sunscreen. So I bought this from Aven. Now, some of Aven's skincare products do have, well, fragrance in them. They have a scent that I don't necessarily like, which is part of the reason why I don't necessarily use them. But I like this sunscreen. It definitely goes with my skin. And also the size is pretty reasonable. I could just carry it on the plane. I don't need to have it checked in. Although it's kind of drizzling at the moment, Spain at this time of the year can be, in Malaga particularly, south of Spain, can be pretty sunny. So definitely wanted to bring a sunscreen with me and not just count on the SPF that is in my moisturizer. Let's talk about perfumes. So one of the perfumes that I like is a Flower Bomb from Viktor and Ralph. I don't necessarily want to call myself a perfume fanatic, but I have a lot of perfumes. So I have to pick one when I'm traveling. And if I'm traveling just with a carry-on bag, I usually take one of these. Now I bought this Viktor and Ralph perfume in one of those boxes that comes with a few different items, and this came with it. So if I'm just traveling for a few weeks, this is what I take with me. And Beauties, if I am traveling up to 20 days, I might just go with a carry-on bag. Yeah, I travel very, very light. I hate traveling heavy. That's just not my kind of thing. And in fact, I go with a half empty carry-on bag so that I can buy souvenirs. So I might take like 4 shirts or 5 shirts with me, 1 pair of shoes, something like that. And then if the trip is longer than 20 days, which is the case with my current trip, I know I'm going to probably check a bag. And that is why I brought a perfume, like a full perfume container, because I knew I can check it in. Otherwise, I couldn't take this on the plane. Now, this is pretty empty. Like this is about to be finished. I mean, it's not that empty, but you know, maybe it has, I don't know, 20 more uses or something like that. And that is part of the reason why I also brought it, because I was like, it's going to be finished here. I can just throw it away here. And if not, it's not going to take a lot of space. Like the weight of the full container of perfume is not something that I have to worry about in my suitcase. I have a few of these small sampler sizes of Moroccan oil that I've gotten in different Sephora favorite containers over the years. I've mentioned this in my videos before that I love purchasing Sephora favorites. I think they're great because they help you try a whole different set of brands and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Now, Moroccan oil is a product that I've been using for more than 10 years. So this is a product I know I like. I have a few more of this that came in other Sephora favorites But if I completely run out of them, I'm probably going to just fill it up again with Moroccan oil because I have a large container of Moroccan oil at home. Spain, obviously, being close to Morocco. If you all don't know, Morocco is across the Strait of Gibraltar, so you can actually take a ferry across from Spain to Morocco. And beauties, I have done that 12 or so years ago. Spain has its own versions of Moroccan oil that I might consider buying. Another name for Moroccan oil is argan oil, and I've been seeing a lot of argan oil products at different stores here, and they're very, very decently priced. Okay, friends, for mirror, I brought this one, which is significantly smaller than the mirror that I usually use on my videos. This came in the Cherry Crush collection of ColourPop that I purchased like 2 or 3 years ago. When that collection came out, it came out at a steep, steep discount. Like it was released with 50% off, and I purchased the whole collection. And I have been enjoying using this mirror because it's very small, it's easy to travel with. I also brought with me some nails. Now, a lot of times I might not do this. Sometimes I just think to myself, I'm going to go find nails in the country I'm going to, because it's also kind of adventurous to go somewhere and buy makeup there. But because I was on a no buy, I was like, let me take nails, just because I didn't want to force myself in a position that I might end up buying nails. But at this point, we know that I'm probably gonna modify my no buy. So these are the nails that I brought. This is from Dashing Diva. I usually get 2 uses out of this because these have like 30 nails in them, and most of them are duplicated, most sizes, so I can get at least 2 uses out of them. Probably not 3 because, you know, some sizes just don't go, they're just too big for my nails, or they might be too small for some of my nails, but I definitely get at least 2 uses out of them. These 2 I purchased when I was in Australia from Kmart for like $1.99 or something ridiculously cheap. And there are 24 nails in each, and this almond shape really goes with my nails. I think they look so nice. They're not super pointy, but they just look so cute. This is my other hand. It's very kind of retro, hence the name. And I usually get 2 uses out of each of these as well. And the quality is very good. They don't bend, they don't like chip or anything. Some of the ones I've used in the US, they bend or break, or they just sort of break in the middle. Like they just break like that. I don't know why, but these are so nice and sturdy, and they're pretty good quality. And I thought this is kind of very spring-like, so I brought these, but hey, who knows? Maybe I end up buying some nails here. And then this came in one of the containers. Oh, these 2 have nail glues inside. And then this one is the kind where the nail glue is on it. So there was a pad, and I bought this at TJ Maxx. You can see I buy most of these nails at TJ Maxx, like obviously except for the ones I'll get in Australia. Sometimes when I go to Walmart, you know, if it's Halloween or something, they might have brought Halloweeny nails or some seasonal nails I might buy. Otherwise, I get them at TJ Maxx. This came in one of my other nail containers that I bought from either TJ Maxx or Walmart, but I brought it because this kind of is useful. This was brand new when I brought it. And I also brought this other nail glue because I wasn't sure if these nail glues were good. And again, I wanted to reduce the possibility of needing to buy anything. Being on a no-buy beauties, I am being serious about it. Let's now talk about specific makeup items. And I hope this is in focus, but I can't tell. The first thing I want to talk about is primer, and the only primer that I brought is Painterly from MAC. This is heavy enough, but this is a staple primer that I know I like, and it works really well for me, so I kind of didn't want to bring anything else. For mascara, I brought these 2 samplers that came in one of those Sephora favorites. You know, if I'm going to be traveling, I might take something that I think to myself I'm going to use up and throw away, which is part of the reason I was like, let me bring samplers, because you can't get really more than maybe 10 uses out of these. Now, I haven't really worn as much makeup as I thought here, so I don't know if I'm gonna really use both of these up, but that was the goal, because if I can throw stuff away, first of all, I've gotten rid of them, I've decluttered things. Second, it opens more room in my suitcase for new things. And of course, I brought my beloved NYX glitter primer because we can't live without it. Tweezer, some random tweezer that I purchased, I don't know, from TJ Maxx or something at some point. But I also purchased this from Ale Hop, which is a store that I've seen here everywhere across downtown here. And I also believe I've seen it in other European cities. I think I saw it in Berlin. But what I liked about this tweezer was the fact that it has a little comb here. That I think is extremely useful for separating your lashes, because that is an issue that I have a lot of times. My lashes just stick together after I put mascara on them. For blush and highlighter, I brought these two from the Beauty collection. I love these. Okay, I opened them so that I can show them to you, because as you know, it's difficult to show them with just one hand. This is Frosty, and this one is Simply Sweet. I love these. So this one is matte, and this one is a shimmer that it also has a little bit of a hint of pink inside. They're so, so, so beautiful. And then for lips, this I bought somewhere. This is a chopstick that I bought somewhere in like Budapest or something. But this, you can buy this brand all over Europe. This is Burt Bees. I think I got it in some container from Costco. You all know I have chronic chapped lips. And if you've seen my lip declutter, you all know I have a gigantic lip collection. The video is tagged below, and I just randomly picked some colors that were diverse enough for different kinds of looks. So these two are from Dose of Colors. I'm hoping to use them and sort of declutter them soon. This is ColourPop Just a Tint. This is from the Y2K collection, Butterfly Kisses. This is so cute. I've used it already. And this is a Jeffree Star one. I don't remember the name. Let's see, Pumpkin Pie. So that is that. Okay, beauties, the first part of this video I did yesterday, and then my phone just ran out of batteries, and we're back. I don't remember where I stopped, so quickly mentioning one thing that I don't think I mentioned, which is that, first of all, I buy these containers from Walmart for, I don't even know, like $1 or less, but I'm sure you can find them other places, other countries, and also other stores like Target, etc. And then I just fill it up myself with rubbing alcohol that I purchased from Costco, and I fill them up again. And one absolute important thing, separate from the usages that I think I mentioned yesterday, one other usage that is absolutely, absolutely important is cleaning my cell phone. Beauties, cell phones are probably the dirtiest things in the world, because we take them everywhere. We're holding them in our hand all the time, and who knows what kind of germs on them. The scary thing about this is that we take our cell phones pretty much everywhere, from the bathroom to the bed where we sleep. We take our cell phones. Now, I don't want to tell you you shouldn't take your cell phones in your bed. Your bedtime ritual and etiquette is your own. But one thing that's absolutely important is cleaning the cell phone, which is what I make sure I do. I clean my cell phone with rubbing alcohol at least once a day. Chances are every time I come from the outside into my house or, wherever I'm staying. Just like I wash my hand, immediately afterwards, I clean my cell phone. So a few other things that I take with me, or I brought on this trip with me, are these things. These are samplers. I love traveling with samplers because I always think to myself that I'm going to just use them up during the trip and I'm going to throw them away. And then my bag is going to have empty space in it for souvenirs, or just empty space in it. And it's going to be more lightweight, which is amazing. And these are a bunch of samplers that I think I got on trips. My last company used to send me on trips business class, and in business class they always give you like bags with sort of stuff in it. And some of these are, I think, known brands. Like I know one of them was Rituals, which is a pretty, yeah, this one is Rituals, which is a pretty like relatively expensive fancy brand. I think this might also be a Ritual. But anyway, long story short, these are good things to just pop into my bag and use them on the plane. A lot of times, long distance flights, my face gets very dry. I can moisturize it. You all know I have chronic dry lips, so a lip balm is always appreciated. Although who knows what's really in these and whether they really have what you would buy from the store in them. I don't know. I also don't care. They're samplers. I'm going to use them up, and whatever's done, I'm going to throw away. And then this one I brought because I, again, have chronic dry lips and I thought I really need a lip mask. Although I've seen some lip masks here in Primor and I thought, maybe I should buy some lip mask. But hey, who are we kidding? I have already borderline broken my no buy buying lip masks. So no, it's not happening. For brushes, beauties, I brought my Singe Beauty eye set. You probably already saw this in the video that I posted doing my look and talking about my no-buy updates. And then the second brush set that I brought is the collaboration between Nyan and Morphe. If you've been watching my channel, you know I really like this brush set. Another thing is that this brush set has a few tiny brushes in it, which are very suitable for detailing, inner corner, etc., and are specific brushes that are missing from Singe Beauty. Angelica, if you're listening. I also brought these two. One of them is from Zueva, this one, which is a smudger brush. Let me see if I can show you the head. It's sort of a very nice smudger brush for smudging the lower lash line. And then the second one is this one. This is from Morphe. I don't think it's zooming in a way to see it, but it's E36 and it has a tiny head, which is ideal for inner corners, honestly, even smudging the lower lash line and other kind of work if there is a small thing you want to fix on your eyes, etc. So these are the 15 brushes that I brought. And then you all might ask me, what about concealer? What about, I don't know, powder, etc.? The only other thing that I brought as far as makeup and sort of beauty stuff is concerned. Now, obviously, we're not talking about deodorants and such, but if we're talking about makeup, this is the only other thing that I've brought. This is a container with a little bit of a concealer that I have from Makeup Forever inside of it, just in case I needed concealer. Beauties, if you're new to my channel or if you just didn't know this, I rarely put anything other than creams and moisturizers on my face. So I don't really wear concealers or foundations and things like that. So this is all I have, and I would use this if I have a zit and I really need to cover it up, but otherwise I might just even go without. Okay, beauties, I was just editing this video and I realized I forgot to show you the most important part of this video, which is what did I bring for eyeshadow. You all have already seen one of my to buy or not to buys where I use this eyeshadow palette, so you know that I brought this. This is no news. This is Element 115 from Adept. I definitely didn't think I got enough use out of this palette. Some of these shimmers are so beautiful, definitely need to be more utilized. One issue and concern that I generally have about Adept palettes is that they are lacking mattes. But, well, a few things to divulge. First of all, I have some mattes in this other palette that we're going to take a look at. And then the second thing is I did purchase some mattes. I'm going to make a video about some of the changes I'm going to make to my no-buy because, as I mentioned in my February update of my no-buy, and I'll tag that video somewhere below so you can check it out, because I'm traveling and I definitely want to do some shopping of makeup here in Spain so that I can do some videos for you all where I show you makeup in Spain, eyeshadow palettes in Spain, and all of those good things. it is difficult to maintain the no buy. There are some other masks that I have and I will have during this trip that will complement these. But in general, I feel like Adept's palettes being a third mattes versus maybe half mattes is not enough. I don't want to give a rule of thumb, but I generally prefer mattes to shimmers in palettes. That's how it goes. But this palette has some beautiful shimmers, and we've talked about this palette. I've done a few looks with it in this channel, including my to buy or not to buy that you're going to see tagged below. And then I brought a self-made palette. Let me show you all. Ta-da! And this palette is partially my dupe of Flying Fiddles from Adept. And some of these other colors that I populated are some suggestions that could replace some of those colors that I picked for dupes. I will talk about this palette dupe with swatches and so on in a video. Where I'm staying in Spain doesn't have very good lighting, and lighting is critical for those kinds of videos, so it might have to wait until I'm back. But I definitely want to tell you all what colors I used, just in case you're curious. And I'm so glad that I duped that palette, because honestly, I'm totally fine not buying that palette from Adept. And we all know that Adept just sneak peeked another palette, and I just can't believe how fast these brands are releasing. But anyway, these are the singles that I brought with me. And as I mentioned, Beauties, while I'm here, I might end up acquiring some additional single eyeshadows. And if we do, I will definitely make a video about them. But I'm excited. And this is everything that I brought as far as eyeshadow palettes are concerned. But I have to confess that I had an inkling that I'm probably going to pick some shadows while I'm here, because I kind of wanted to experiment a little bit buying some local brands and trying them for you all as well. So beauties, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing if you are not subscribed to my channel yet. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and until next time, bye.